What would you say is the absolute most epic chord change possible? A lot of things to consider, of course. What type of music you like, what type of emotion you want to instill in your listener. And when it comes down to it, this is a subjective topic. But I think I'm going to convince you of my opinion. Now I bet you're wondering, Tyler, why do you even care what the most epic chord change is? Well, I have in my hands a Framus idol maker, and I think, well, to make an idol, to become a guitar legend, you have to have the most epic chord change to rip your face melting solo over top of. So before I reveal the most epic chord change, I'm going to give you a runner-up. And the runner-up is only a runner-up because it is not just a single chord change. It contains multiple changes, but the overall progression I consider to be the most epic of all. And that progression is 2, 3, 4, 5. We're talking about harmonic analysis, which, hey, you can learn about in my courses down below. You can consider a major key that has 7 notes. Now, of course, I'm talking about epic, right? We want some distortion, but before we get there, and we will, I want to show you just what this progression sounds like and what I consider to be an epic sound, so that way you can kind of get a feel and a sense for my taste. So that is the kind of vibe we're going for, a sort of unresolved sound. That's what I consider an epic legendary chord progression to be, is something that seems endless and infinite, something that just can be cyclical, happening over and over and over again. It's a great way to practice, in fact, because you get lost in how long you've been playing over that chord progression. So that is the runner-up, but as I mentioned, we're going for Guitar Hero idol-making oneness. So let's hear what this chord progression would sound like in a more aggressive context. What do you think? Pretty epic, wouldn't you say? And to think, it just came from... So, as we move forward to the climax of this video, I'm going to reveal the most epic chord change ever. And it's quite simple. It's 2 chords. 1 to flat 6. One to flat 6. 1 meaning 1 minor, 2 flat 6 major. Now you could potentially look at it as 1 major to flat 6 major, but for the intents and purposes of the epicness, I would keep that 1 as a minor chord. So, as you can hear there's plenty of other places to go, but if we want to simplify it to the most epic chord change, I believe it is the 1 to the flat 6. That is merely talking about the interval. We're not necessarily talking precise harmonic analysis, because you could argue that an E minor to a C is actually in the key of G, which would make it a 6 to a 4. What I'm getting at is the actual intervallic relationship on the fretboard, and I think that you can call this a 1 to flat 6 because these are the only two chords that are happening in the progression that you're about to hear. Without further ado, here is why the 1 to flat 6 is the most epic, legendary, idol-making chord progression of all time. Well, there you have it, guys. Did I convince you? No? Oh, that's too bad. At least you got to listen to some cool music thanks to the famous idol maker. Check it out. Links are down in the description if you want to check the specs. If you like the sound of this axe, I highly recommend it. It does all the things that I would want a guitar to do, which is sound awesome. Until next time, guys, keep shredding.